Good evening, everyone. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Please just give 2 more minutes. By 8:40 we can start.
Okay.
Okay, so don't waste too much of our time. Good evening, everyone. Thank you once again for joining. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for taking out some minutes of your precious time to be with us. So without um
You gotta take it.
so without wasting much of our time, my name is Beauty and I'm the host for today. Let's just dive into our speaker. So I'll be introducing two powerhouses. I call them my very senior tech minds. Trust me, you're in for a great day. So, ladies and gentlemen, my very seniors in the tech space are here today. And I'm so honored to have them join us. Two brilliant minds I truly respect in the tech space. Please help me welcome Mr. Lolade Oyebanji and Madam Success Omorube. So I'm going to be giving us a short introduction of who they are. Mr. Ololade, um, the engineer who makes text feel like a friendly conversation, not just a foreign language. He has over 10 years in the tech industry and he has built brilliant solutions using the .NET. Don't worry about these big languages, okay? But he has built brilliant solutions in the .NET, the Flutter, and a whole lot of creativity. And the fun part of Mr. Lolade is that he loves breaking down big, scary tech stuff into simple, enjoyable nuggets that everyone can understand. Especially payments, even if you don't know anything about it. So whether you're tech curious or you're tech confused, it's here to make you say, "Oh wow, so this is how it works." So I'm sure it's going to break it down into simple things. And for our speaker too, Madam Success, she's a product manager who wears many hats and rocks every single one. From education to finance, ed to mobility, she has helped shape different products that people use every day. So beyond the tech space, she's a passionate mentor, guiding fresh talent into the IT space. So if you are trying to, oh, today I want to be a tech bro, I want to be a Texas, we have a passionate mentor among us. She's always ready to teach, simplify, and share on. And also, I'll call her a big sis in tech, although she refuses to agree with me in that. Yeah, she has experience in QA testing, which is also my line. And our mission is to help more people in the community understand tech, grow in tech, and feel confident using tech. So when we say tech, we're not just saying one big grammar. Your phone is tech. Those apps you use, they are tech. And today they'll be showing us how to make things safer, smarter digital choices at home. So show your emojis, show your what do you call it? Your balloons, and let's welcome Mr. Oladiyan, and I'm so sorry you have the floor. Over to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I will let Success open the floor.
Yeah, thank you so much once again, Mrs. Beauty Akisheta, for having us this evening. Actually, it's just something we've taught, to give back to the community. We're like, and especially with the digital space and how it's impacting the views and also impacting data, privacy within homes. And we've taught to reach out to both moms. You don't have to be so technical, all right, or have like so much of technical knowledge to understand what this whole data protection is. It's something we already do, in our day to day. You understand? Lives and living with our children. So we just want to shed more light into this, and we hope at the end of the whole presentation, we all have a better understanding on how to go about data protection and knowing data literacy within our homes and around our children or around our guardians. All right. And fifth, we also would have a Q&A session as well with me, as Mrs. Akishete has actually introduced, is also my boss. That's Mr. Lalade Oyebanji. So prior to now, there's always this wave of the oil and gas being the oil, in town. But moving down to the millennial, especially in this era that we are in the digital space, what we currently have now as in wave is IT, the digital space technology. But above all of this, there is just something that is very specific at the center and the core of this whole, space, which is known as data. So data is more like the new oil, all right? And this actually helps how, shape our everyday decision in data. So for instance, now as an organization, your behavior when you go on a shopping site, maybe like Jumia or Konga, Amazon, and ASOS, your behavior whenever you interact with this applications, you searching for item or placing an order and all is actually some form of hidden data that these companies they gather, and then they use your data to also project to you subsequent products, make decisions to better how you can view and use their product. Okay, so if see yourself as at every point in time you go to a restaurant or you go to somewhere and you're eating, you decide to order a food. There's no how sometimes when you have this meal, they are very sumptuous, you end up leaving some crumbs on the plate, right? Or you're having your toast bread on your bread and with some tea. And when you are taking a bite of it, sometimes again, it leaves some crumbs on your plate. Now, what happens to the crumbs? Most times you may not know. Sometimes you do know. It's either if it's within your home, you can actually clear it out and then you know where to dispose it. But if someone would have to clean that after you, you don't know what they use those crumbs for. So that is what data is all about. You are leaving a digital breadcrumbs. And for you to understand where the lead as a parent, as a guardian within your home, all right, enables you to protect your family and choose the right path. So I would start with what is data literacy? So when we hear of literacy, that is your ability, to actually understand or comprehend something or a matter or a topic. So when we talk of data literacy, this means understanding information so you can make good decisions. And just like you already do every day, although you may not know this, you may not be, intentional about it. But from today, we want you to be intentional about these decisions that you make concerning your data. Your data is anything about you or your family, your name, your photos, your location, shopping habits, your medical information, even, clinics, the videos your children watch. All these surrounds you. They are all data about your family. So before we go, says the question of the day is who owns your data? Would anyone want to tell us who owns your data? Anyone want to share? Okay, so for a time, that's what to say, who owns your data? You actually do own your data,
I own
but
my data.
thank you so much, Grace, for sharing. You own your data, but the companies control it once you give it to them. At every point in time you step on any application on a website, you impute your data, you accept cookies. I'm sure you always see this pop, cookies and all. Once you do that, the companies they take control already of what you've given to them. Can we go to the second slide, please? Now, with all the noise of data, all right, data protection, and you sometimes you're like you could be on an application and you just see this informations flying and popping up, obstructing your ability to actually, comprehend or focus on a thing. You would ask yourself, can privacy exist in the digital age that we are in? The truth is, yes, but it can only exist if you are intentional about protecting your data. And then you would want to wonder what are the simple ways or this can be done. So give for instance, I'm certain most of us here we all have a Facebook um, a Facebook account. And if you want to know, there are sometimes, even with your Snapchat, all right, you have saved up some pictures, you have posted some pictures. These things are being gathered as data, and then you see years later down the line, they are being referred back to you, either putting together or we've put together a collage, we've put together an album, or just to celebrate an anniversary kind of thing. And those are the things that somehow you, even your followers or people that you may not know, also would have access to because we have posted out so much out there. So we live in a world where nearly everything leaves a digital footprint. Even using of your Google map, like for instance, myself, I've noticed over time when I'm trying to track a place or how to monitor the steps I can take from a particular, location to another location, the first thing that pops up for me using my Google map is my current location, even when I'm not in my current location. So from the very first time you actually impute any information, all right, this actually, it saves and these applications, they play around with your location. Also, you're shopping online and watching kids' cartoons or even just carrying your smartphone as well. These are simple things that can invade your privacy, especially with your children, all right, where they are not yet so conversant about how data can harm them. So it is actually a very good thing for us as the guardians to be more knowledgeable, to have them protected also with their data. So privacy hasn't disappeared. And the truth is, privacy, digitally wise, won't be going anywhere. But it requires our efforts to actually to maintain a digital and a data private, life within our home. So think of it this way: you have your curtains in your home. All right, especially if you have a blind, you will see that there are a little bit of see-throughs. For instance, in my home, when it's actually a summer period, it's usually very brighter in the evening. Okay, and I noticed that there's always a see-through, and that keeps me on edge a bit. What I had to do was I had to look for a thicker curtain, over my blind. So you see data protection or data privacy, think think it like you are closing your curtains. You can still have your privacy, but only if you choose to close them. And then we'll be looking, how can we actually have this closed, not just for ourselves, but also for our children, okay? Because we are their guardians. And most of the information that they get fed with, it can either, make or mar them, which is very important for us as guardians to protect. Please, can we go into the next slide? So why data literacy matters, not just for moms and carers, but for also all guardian, be it the parent as a father. Knowing how data is collected and used helps you protect your family's privacy and enables you to make better decisions about which apps or smart toys to allow in the home. And I'm sure you'll be wondering, okay, what kind of smart toys can I allow in my home that won't invade the privacy of my children or apps? This is why we are here. We're having this discussion. All right. But now we're going to be looking at the different ways. If you do not know already that you are data literate and you have been using data to make some certain decisions at home, now let us look at those data, and that will enable you further to understand this entire discussion that we are having tonight. So, for instance, you have your child running a temperature, okay? You do not have a thermometer like back in the days. If you're running the temperature, your mom or your dad, by the time they place their hands on your forehead and it's burning hot, they know, yes, the next thing is what you need: a medication, or such a child needs a medication, or such a child needs to be taken to the clinic to see a doctor. Now, that ability to check the child's temperature, either with, informally using the place of hand or using a thermometer to decide what the next medical step would be, that has made you, a data literate. So, in other words, that's data literacy. So tomorrow, if you're in the midst of people and someone is talking about data literacy, you should be confident of also knowing it as a guardian that you already a literate of data. Or we look at, for instance, you want to go shopping, you want to have a spending, all right, and then you have a budget. The first thing you do is you look at your bank account before food shopping. All right. What you do is you need to check that balance and see if what I'm going to buy is going to be enough for me, what I have in my account is going to be sufficient for me to get my purchase. Now, your ability to look at your bank account before that shopping, be it for food or for clothing or for anything, also is data literacy, and that is you using data to make decisions within your home. Another instance would be for when you want to make a choice of a baby product or the schools that your children should go, or maybe you're even online on a product. You check out reviews, you read ratings and comments. So I would ask, if you go on a school or maybe you're trying to seek out which school, what products to get for your child, and you see the ratings to be 2 star, what does that interpret to you? Anyone?
They probably have an issue in school.
That the
And they probably have an issue with the school. Maybe it's something
Yeah,
we
they
are not
probably
saying.
have an issue. Yeah, they probably have an issue with the school. But when you were seeing a rating like 4.5, 4.8, and 5, that's to tell you it gives you confidence. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
that's right.
Yeah. So it gives you confidence of the decision you want to make. So already with those kind of things, you're already understanding data. All right. And then another way, again, being a data literate is you noticing patterns. So for someone like me, one of the ways I also know for myself is if I take a nap during the noontime, it's going to be difficult for me to sleep at night, or I would sleep pretty much late, at night. So also maybe for your child, you would see, your child, if he naps later during the daytime and maybe bedtime becomes harder, becomes restless, or maybe the child pees and then he becomes restless, you've already spotted also a pattern. So that is also a data skills. Data can also come in terms of pattern. Now, based on this pattern as well, when your children are interacting, all right, with an application, The system, whatever application they are interacting with, can then begin to introduce things to them. Now, that is where you, as a parent, will now come in because you have understood all of this. You cannot come in and make the certain decisions to protect them and shield them from the things that they are to see or they are to have access to and not to have access to. And the last also is tracking screen time or health apps. If you have some applications on your phones, it helps you to track how many steps you've made in a day. It can also help you track, or maybe your smartwatch, like an iPhone watch in watching, or it helps you as well. All those things helps you understand data. So in other words, you're already a data literate. So if you have been doing this, I want you to please applaud yourself. All right? You are all data literate. So let's go to the next slide. Having said all this, now how does data finally helps you? One, we talked about it helps you protect your children online. There's so many children are exposed to games, apps, and websites. This collects information about your child. Some applications will ask you to input your child's name, input sometimes as well, their age, and sometimes as well their location. So knowing all of these can help you, gather certain things to do. One, you can choose a safer app and turn off any tracking, point in it. Some would also ask me if you can put in what's it called, the location. You can disable that. You can set a better privacy settings and avoid apps that overshare children's data. That can be blocked on your phone settings. And secondly, it can help you with this data that you've understood over time. It helps you to make a better family decision. And you will say how, like we've talked earlier, you can pick a better school for your children. You can get to know what food will be healthier for them and how much screen time is okay. I remember my cousins when they were younger, they right Mondays to Friday, and I still have like family members and friends that treat this as well with their children. That Mondays to Fridays, they have a limited screen time at most, at least like 2 hours, and then they have an early out to bed. But when it comes to the weekend, like Friday, they give them a longer time to screen time, longer hours to have a screen time and also to have a playtime. That way, you are able to monitor, what goes in and out around them and how they also play with things around them, their toys, their smart toys, and their apps. So it also helps you avoid being misled. The internet is full of claims, it's full of noise. So you need to learn to sieve, through those noise, especially when you want to purchase things for your children. You need to really do your research. You need to know what works and what will work well for your children as well and work for your home. You need to understand which service is the best. There's so, especially when you're on YouTube, you can see so many pop-up, buy here, buy this, so many things. But one thing I've come to understand, I give myself again as an example, was I saw a product on TikTok for a magnesium, and there was so much hype on this particular product. And then I tried, let me, get this product. I got the product, and you're like, oh, once you use this product within 14 days, oh, you're going to feel strong, you feel strengthened, you feel better, magnesium, and this. And honestly, I purchased that and I tried that product for 14 days. I didn't feel any difference in my body. And then I felt like I was just taking in chalk. But then I had to put that aside, and I went to one of pharmacies around my area, one of the best, anyways. And I saw they had the same product that I needed, but in their own brand, and I purchased that. Just taking that three times, like 3 days, I felt the difference. I knew what the difference was. So we need to be very careful because information, all right, mostly in purchasing things for the children, can be very misleading when we're dealing with data online. It also helps you spot patterns, like we said earlier, in your children's behavior. It helps them sleep better or behaves differently, information safe. Knowing how your data works helps you. So one, please always have a strong password. And there is what we call two-factor authentication or multiple-factor authentication, depending on the device you're using. Even when you set a password, you can also set up a fingerprint or a facial, a metric ID. That way, it's not, it can be intercepted by anybody. All right. Or you can even do with your email and then they send you code and all. You can also learn to recognize online scams. It's very, very important. And it helps you, being a data literate also helps you as a parent to know what to share, all right, with your children on social media and protect your personal details. All right. I'll be handing over now to my boss soonest. And please, can I just have the last slide, please? So far, what I've been trying to say is as a guardian and as a parent, think yourself to be like the Google map, all right? Adjusting routes using live traffic data. When you set your journey on the Google map, and then most times you're trying to navigate to another route, no matter the route you take, the Google map, it redirects you back to the right track or back to the right route. So you're just like that. Your apps are constantly adjusting to your data or to your children's data. Hence, as the carer and as the parent, all you need to do is please act as the GPS for our children's data. Okay. So I know we'll be going to the Q&A session, but before then, I will have Mr. Olalade Oyibande take the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Success. Hi, everyone. I'll just keep it very short and very straight. So basically, you have to be a protective guardian. The concept that every time you scroll, you tap, buy something online, you leave breadcrumbs is really important to be aware of. I'll give you an example. I don't know if any of you have observed this, but if your kid, for instance, should, have you ever seen a situation when you talked about a toy, like maybe at home, you talked about a toy at home, right? And then maybe your child was watching YouTube and the child saw that advert of that toy on YouTube. Have you ever seen that? And if you've not seen that, if you think about it, how do you think you are going to feel? It's going to be scary because you're just talking about the toy and then you see the advert on YouTube. It's really scary. And I can tell you that it happens right now. It depends on what you have at home. If, for instance, you have something like Alexa, or you have, and you basically talk, and Alexa is listening every time. That's just an example. Alexa is that device where it's like a radio, you talk to it and it talks back. You tell it to play music, it plays music, you tell it what's the time, it does all those things. So if that kind of thing should happen, right, it would be really scary. Every time that you really scroll, you tap or you do anything, you're actually leaving breadcrumbs online, and we should be aware of that. Especially now in terms of the security issues that we have right now. If you leave your picture online, someone can actually look at that picture and maybe see some of the places that are on that picture, pick out the landmark. They can say, oh, that's the University of Lagos, or that's the University of Benin, or that street is close to University of Benin. Probably that person went to University of Benin or something like that. So it's really very important that we are a protective guardian for our child's information and our own information. Now, I'm
So
sure.
what joking to please?
Say again? Sorry, was that for me?
Sorry, continue.
Okay.
No, no,
Now,
no, it wasn't.
okay. So now I'm sure many of you know Netflix, right? And many of us use Netflix or any other streaming channel. And even if we don't use Netflix, we are aware about it. So controlling recommendations. So understanding that systems like Netflix and online shops recommend shows based on your watch history, right? And browsing is a lesson in critically reviewing content for toddlers. So basically, what it means is that Everything they are watching is giving Netflix back the data of who you are. If you like watching action movies, they'll give you action movies. If you like watching K-pop Korean movies, they'll give you Korean movies. So that one, that simple one alone is an idea to say everything around us is data that is being fed back to somebody to learn about us. But that is not even that so bad. But another thing that we should be aware of, especially as parents or as carers, is that everything that Netflix actually gives you, or let me put it this way, everything that the algorithm, because Netflix, YouTube, all of them, they all use algorithm. Even Facebook, Twitter, they all use algorithm to give you things that they feel like, okay, you've read before. But everything that they give you is not really about your watch history. They are giving you things that they know that you will keep on coming back to. And those are two different things that you should be aware of. So they don't care whether it's good or bad, but they know that, oh, this one would interest you. And then this one will make you come back, and then they'll send it back to you. So for instance, for kids, some of the things that they'll do for kids is like they would they will bring back some kind of videos that in their search history, they will, in their feed, they'll bring back some videos that will have some colorful stuff, so they will know that, oh, I want to watch that one, and then when they're done, oh, I want to watch that one. Why don't they bring back videos of like 1, 2, 3, or something else? Even if they bring back videos of 1, 2, 3, or 1+2, they'll make it very colorful again, so that they want to hook you into their algorithm. So we have to be aware that all of those recommendations, even though they are looking at your history and trying to give you something, they actually want to just keep you stuck on their application. So we have to make informed choices on apps. This encourages you as a parent to critically access the permissions and data collection practice of your children's app and smart toys before downloading them. If an app says, I want your phone number or contact list, I would strongly suggest that you just say straight no. Except maybe it's your bank app. Even a bank app, most of the time, I'll honestly advise you guys to just say no. Because they're going to upload all of those contact lists to their servers. I'm sure most of you are aware of some of these loan apps in Nigeria that that what they do is like when so, I mean, okay, this is how I put it. I'm looking at my phone. I get a WhatsApp message, and the WhatsApp message says, Kazim Chukwemeka Audu as is owing 10,000 naira, and he is very dishonest, and he is this, and he's that thing, and I'm sure most of us are seeing it. So that's just an example. Like some apps don't actually need any of your data, any of your permission. So if you have any app that you're using that you downloaded and it's asking for some weird permission, honestly read it. If you are not sure, just decline for now. Just decline for now. I know most of us will just say yes, Google, but honestly decline for now. So for instance, if a simple drawing app, a drawing app, also when it comes to like kids, if a simple drawing app should ask for your maybe like your location, your microphone, or your contact, like a drawing app, no, no way. Just bounce it away. You understand? So we should always be aware of that when it comes to our kids. What is the permission that the apps that they have on their this thing is asking them for? So basically, that's all these things that these apps, when you use those apps, right? All those informations, they store it, they use it, they analyze it. Sometimes they actually share with others. Many of the times they share with others. Facebook has been through a lot of litigation around their data. They've sold enough of, and trust me, a lot of us are on Facebook. Facebook is a family-oriented place. You understand? So they actually shared with others, and they've actually been sued a lot of time for it. So the real issue is not ownership, it's really control, right? And you should think about it like this, right? You own your own house, but if you hand someone else a key, they can enter the house whenever they want, unless you set the rules. So that's exactly what data is. So every time you click agree, every time you click every time you click agree on, like, when you open a website, it will first ask you those those cookie thing, those like, do you consent to this is a most of us click agree, and it's really stressful. But trust me, every time you click agree, it's like you're handing out a copy of your house key to them, and then they have the permission to just enter your house, come enter, pick anything they want, and they just go. So I just want everybody to be aware that whenever we give them permission, it's basically like we're giving them our house key, and then they can come and go at any point in time. So what's the next thing that we can do? Like I said earlier, check your permissions. Go to some of your apps right now. Really check their permission. I mean, you don't have to do everything now. I mean, you can't go through all the apps on your phone right now. But when you are free, when you are just sitting down, just look at this app and say, what permission does this app even have? What permission does this app even have? And so you see that some apps will have a microphone. What are they using microphone for? Are they listening to you behind it? It's very, very possible. This app has camera access. Why? Why? This app has this thing. Why? So if you have the time, really look at some of those apps and check their permissions. Another one is use privacy settings, right? There's actually privacy settings on family devices, right? So we should actually try and use those ones as well. We should treat personal data as a secret because it is. So we should explain to our child in age appropriate language that personal details like their name, their addresses are private secrets. Because one thing about kids is they are really innocent. They don't know anything. So when they are talking to people, they will just share information, just say, my mom is this, my dad is this, I live in so and so. Everybody's happy. I have a neighbor, he lives there. So we have to really impact on them around age appropriate language, saying that like private secret, because kids like to give, tell them, oh, it's a secret just between me and you. Don't share it with anybody. They'll actually be like, yes, 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 I have a secret with my care, my parents. So that's something that is actually very advisable. So it's important that your child's app isn't just a game. It is actually a digital reflection of their behavior, and companies are always looking at that reflection. So again, another thing is to set family rules, like be very clear about your family rules. So this provides a rationale for establishing clear family rules about what information is private and what should never be shared. What you should understand, your data is valuable, right? Children's data is especially sensitive. Privacy settings matter, and you can actually limit data collection. Just like we said earlier, you can you can choose to turn off your location sharing, you can choose to use strong password, you can choose to review your app's permission, you can avoid oversharing online, and you can teach kids what not to click. So for the location sharing, I know it's a tricky one, but like I said, honestly, if apps don't need your location, really deny them the location because they are actually reporting it to somewhere else. We will not just know when it will trickle down to us, but it is actually going somewhere else. Using strong password. Sorry, let me just go back a little bit now. So using strong password, one thing I would advise is like, so I know a lot of people will use password one to not password 123, but when we change passwords, when we use password, we normally use maybe like our date of birth, phone numbers, and something easy for us to remember. Honestly, it is a very, very, very big error because right now the industry is actually moving away from password. A lot of sites now, like if you're using any Microsoft service, they're actually advising people to move away from password in the next, I think next year, they'll start sending it the notification that by so time, your password will become useless. So this is how you must connect. Why are they doing that? If you go to, there's a site called ihavebeenpawned.com, right? If you Google it, the spelling is a little bit off, but it's ihavebeenpawned.com. If you go there, you will see all the accounts that have been breached already, maybe like Gmail, Hotmail. So there's a lot of accounts that have been breached, that their password is out there. So it's just a question of time before hackers will go there, pick it, and use it to do something. So to use strong passwords, right, you need to try and make use of your password helper. If you are using like Chrome browser, if you're using any of the browsers you're using now, they help you to generate very, very, very strong password. So that way you don't keep on, you don't use weak password, or you don't reuse your password. I know those days I used to just add dots to the end of my password. Well, I would just add @. I'd keep adding @ to the end of my password to make it unique. But trust me, it's very, very easy to hack that kind of password. So I advise you use password helpers to help you generate strong password and keep it so you don't keep on remembering. So like I said before, review app permissions. Avoid oversharing online, because whatever you share, your pictures, everything, if someone's set to sit down, they'll be able to tell your history and history about you on that picture. Oh, that's a Yabatech. That means that you either went to Yabatech, you have a friend in Yabatech, or you live near Yabatech. So they'll be able to build a section of information about you. Then essentially, lastly, teach kids what not to click. So last but not the least, you are the CEO of your family's data. So you have to be informed about where your digital breadcrumbs would lead you, so you can keep control, protect your privacy, and guide your child's digital steps. So yeah, you just have to do that because you don't want anybody to know about your child more than you know about your child. And that's all for me. Thank you very much for sticking with us. And if you have any questions about this, about anything related, please shoot and we'll be happy to answer.
Thank you very much, speakers. Thank you so much. So, does anyone have any question? You
Yeah,
want to speak?
I do. I have a question.
Yeah. Hi.
Should I go on?
Yes, Ujunwa, please go on.
Okay, so thank you very much for that session. It was very insightful, first of all. And my question is, sometimes these simple apps that asks for sometimes you see things like the app wants to send you notifications, allow full access or deny, or you see things like click accept if you like, accept terms and condition and all. And you mentioned in one of your slides that we should simply decline when they push for such access to our information or our data. But my question is, when you click decline, sometimes it throws you out of the app. Like, the app wants you, like, you just have to accept their terms and conditions to access that app. Like now, I just when it was time for the meeting and I clicked the link and I realized I had deleted my Zoom app from my phone, and I had to go back to my app store to install. Like, I had that. Stop that. Sorry about that, please.
No, it's fine. We all have.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
yeah, so that's my question, because it's not just it happened just this evening, just before I was able to get into the meeting. They were like, accept terms and condition to access the app or something like that. And I just, based on I needed to, click and get into the meeting. I didn't even think twice about it. I just clicked and accept and moved on. So that's my question. So what do we do if, in order to access that app, we need to accept their push for
Yeah.
certain information? Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a very honest and down-to-earth question about the reality right now. Um, um, Success, do you want to take that or should I take that? Okay, let me take that. So,
Yeah, you can
so,
take that.
so really, Ujunwa, you are very correct, right? It is a very realistic thing that's happening right now. If you don't accept some terms and conditions, they just say you cannot use the app for real, for real. So it happens to all of us, even extra techie people, apart from even techie people, even privacy experts as well. Because there's techie people, but they are not privacy experts. There are some people that are called privacy experts or security experts. They all have to use maybe Instagram or this or that. There are some apps that you trust because they are big enough. They will not do any. Let me just use your Mago Mago. They will really do Mago. So someone like Zoom, for instance, they are an entity. They are a registered entity, and you will know that they must have been vetted to a very large extent. They can, it's not like they can't do, but at least they will have some level of record that we can trust. So for some like that, we'll just go. Then, but for some others that are not really known, they're just coming up, right? It's honestly very good to be wary of whatever their terms and conditions is. Because there's a lot of things they can put in the terms and conditions that nobody will know about. But the reality is that if you don't agree to the terms and conditions, most of them will just say you cannot use the app. So for me, what I do and what I would advise is if it's a very important app, what I would advise is I go for those services that are really big that I trust that like they can't really do it, they can't really they are well vetted, right? And if you any wrong thing should happen, they can be held accountable. Not for all those ones that we don't even know where their office are or we don't know much about them. They can't be sued. If anyone like that is asking for things like that, I just exit. And for push notifications, most of the time push notifications is actually very okay to come again, again, is a question of using apps that are very that are known, professional, and that are being vetted, that are big enough not to just go and do whatever they want to do. Like Facebook that I mentioned, they caught them selling their data to someone and they sued them, and Facebook paid. So that's my rule of thumb. Only do it for apps that are big enough, that are vetted, and that can be held accountable.
Okay, thank you very much. Noted. So we can do that for Zoom and all these are big popular apps, right?
Yes, big popular apps that
Like,
you can hold their neck. But if you see one Lolade app now saying that I need your picture, I beg you. Who are you? Where's your office?
all right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Hello, good evening. Thank you
Yeah,
so
good
much.
evening.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so good evening. This is very insightful. Thank you so much for putting up something like this to educate people like us about the danger of putting these things out there. The world is becoming a very dangerous place. And I just wanted to ask the last speaker. It was about some apps that can help you manage your password because I get to like create password for a lot of people, for a lot of things rather, like access to a lot of things. And really, I just can't keep up with having a lot of numbers with everything, like the way my life is busy right now. I can't keep up with having a lot of, like, having a lot of passwords. So I just get tend to like use maybe two passwords containing the information you already said that are very easy to figure out. So I just wondered if you could like give us the if you could drop the link of the app. I wasn't sure if it was app or like a password manager, something like that. If you could help us drop it in the chat so that we can have access to it. That's my not like a question, just but that's like could you please help us drop it in the chat?
I
Thank
get
you.
you. I get you. Very good one. Very good question. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, so no, honestly, nobody, no human being, is there any human being that can cram all the password in their head? It's like even like bank accounts, like if you have like 3 or 4 bank accounts, yes, you can put that in your. So let's say you put your bank account in your head, put your phone numbers, put like addresses of places you want to go, put like as in I mean no. It's not fair on us to now by hiding password on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. We are looking and everybody everywhere you want to do now. Most of people will tell you to sign up. No, it's not. It's really not ideal, really. So no one can really do that. For the links to the password helpers, right? I'll first of all say let's start simple, right? And let's start simple with what we have currently. So I'm sure you're either using an iPhone or an Android phone. And if you're using an iPhone or an Android phone, you should have at a browser that's on it. Now, if you're using like Google Chrome, I'll advise that you use Google Chrome's password manager. So Google Chrome would help you. Good. Anytime you want to register for a website, if you watch very well, Google Chrome is asking you that for the password, they'll ask you what's your username, what's your email, and then what's your password. Like put in a username, email, and password. When you put in your email, when you want to start typing the password, Google Chrome would like there will be something somewhere that will be asking you that should I suggest a strong password for you? You just have to tell it yes. So when you say tell it yes, it will insert it for you. And then when you've passed that form, there will be another pop-up somewhere that will say, should I save this for you? And then you say yes. For me, I've set my own to do that automatically, meaning that it would ask me, should I suggest a password, strong password? I'll say yes, but it doesn't ask me again, should I save it for you? Because I've already set it to automatically save. So that's the easiest thing I would say we should start with because we already have it on our phone. But if you're not using Google Chrome, I'm sure you're using another browser. At least it will be either Microsoft Edge or it will be Safari, Safari from Apple. They have very good password managers in them. But if you're not now using those ones, that's when we now go like, okay, what are the other good external ones that are there? If you're using an Apple phone, Apple recently did a standalone password manager on app. I think it's called I can't remember the name because I don't use Apple. I think it's I mean I use Apple for my tests. It's not my main phone. I think it's one password or something. I can't remember something password. It has a name there. It's a very good password manager as well. Another one that I would recommend. I don't know the name often, but I can definitely send it across to Madam Beauty, and she can send it across to everybody here. But then to answer another question that I think you asked, right? I pay attention to a lot of these things and I'll tell you that what Google has done, the reason why password managers work, the reason why password managers are advised, and you need to pick the ones you use. The ones I've mentioned now, they have been tested and they have and vetted that the password is hashed one way. Now, I don't want to go Apple, yes, yeah, Apple Password Manager, yeah. So I don't want to go into what hashing really means. I'll just break it down. That when they say hashing one way, what it means is that it is encrypted and the encryption is only like go. There's no come. So nobody will know what the actual value of that password is. Even the password manager, they will not know. You are the one, your device is the one that only knows and nobody else. So even if Google should take your phone today, even they can know, even if the password manager, the person that did the password manager application should take your phone or anything, they cannot see the value of that password. So you are the only one that knows it. So that is why those are the ones that are tested and trusted. So again, I'll say for starter, if you want to keep it simple, just use your browser's password manager. Google Chrome is very popular for that. That's why they are the most popular browser in the world. They have a very intuitive password manager. They will suggest password for you. If you want to log into the website, it will pop up that, oh, I think you have this password saved. Do you want to use it? You say yes. It will just put it there for you and you just go. So you don't even need to put anything password in your mind again. Your mind can be free to remember like food you want to eat and places you want to travel to. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you.
Maybe I could just add something, you know,
Anyone?
for the password Google, if you're thinking, oh, like where would I find, how do I go about, you know, finding this in, you know, within your Google Chrome? When you go to your Google Chrome, the setting aspect of it, you would see on the history side. And then when you go there, or what you can just do on the Google browser, just type password, right, Google Chrome password manager, and then it takes you directly to that page, and then you can set it up, turn it on, and then it's going to be giving you the suggestions, the pop-up and all. So even when you have like different emails with different passwords saved on, you know, on Google, and you're on a particular platform, it will list out those things and ask you which do you want to use. So that way, just like, you know, Mr. Like Olalade has said, is not something you need to bother about once you have it saved up on, you know, Google password. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, and another final thing I add, one good thing about it is if you're on Google on your phone, if you log on to Google on the desktop, it will sync everything over. If you change your phone to an iPhone tomorrow or another, it will sync everything over. So anywhere you are, you just have that freedom. You're not stuck on one thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Any other question?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Grace.
Thank you so
Good
much,
evening.
Madam Success, and thank you, Mr. Ololade, and to our very own Madam Beauty. Thank you for connecting this type of program. You know, over the time while you guys were communicating, and I was just thinking about my 2 years old son that he usually drag my husband's phone and I with us. So we tend to download most of the cartoons that we watch, like Listeners Kids, Lulu Kids, and other cartoons like that, just for learning. Do you understand? To keep him engaged while we're busy with other things. But this guy, when the data is on, it tends to switch to another cartoon that there is another language entirely, or there's another one that has to do with maybe like child satisfying themselves or something. And it gets so scary that I have to start paying attention to what he watch on my phone or on his dad phone. Then we got his tab for him too. We also download, we don't on data on that, we only download videos for him. So we stopped him from watching cartoon for like about 3 weeks now. We've stopped him from watching cartoon. Only thing we noticed that he sleeps more, and he doesn't drag anything with us. Even my phone is not like he wants to use it to watch cartoon, because it's like he has forgotten about it. It helps him to also like um do his assignment, learn, like sing rhyme that he has learned before, and also what they teach them in school. You get, because we deliberately stop him from watching those cartoons, and to avoid him from a 2 years old boy, to avoid him from clicking other cartoons that are not what we want him to watch. Do you understand? And also from my own aspect, I have noticed sometimes maybe somebody trying to hack my Facebook page, then I'll get an information on my email that my account, am I the one using it or something, and I'll say no. Do you get? So that's one of the fact that we all need a strong password to our pages. And again, just like the first question that was asked earlier, she said before you can have access to a particular site, you have to click on cookies. I cannot count how many cookies I've accepted. Even sometimes I'll have to read the terms and conditions before accepting, or I reject, or I'll just leave the app that, oh yeah, hold yourself, I don't need you. Because I'm always skeptical, I'm always being careful that I don't want anybody to hack my page, and I don't want to press link. Because even I think last month my mother-in-law fell victim, my mother-in-law sister fell victim because somebody asked my mother-in-law's account, my WhatsApp account. So the person sent an account number to her sister, and her sister didn't verify from her by calling her if she was the one that sent an account number to send. So she sent 50,000 naira. Like, waking up on a Saturday morning and hearing that you sent 50K to somebody wrongly, it's actually demeaning and it's not fair. So these hackers are out there. Even sites are not helping kids, they're not helping parents. So ma, please, I think you understand. I don't know if it's a question or a contribution, but I feel that you guys have opened our eyes to, okay, pay attention. If I don't share anything about my family, if I don't share anything about my children, nobody will know about it. And if I, like his tab sef, I think I put his name on it. So if I click on something, I'll just see his name first on the tab, which indicate that he's the one using the tab. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's good. It's actually part of a contribution, just you attesting to what some of the measures as well. All right. That restriction, the fact that you have to download, you just have to have it pre-downloaded, you understand, for him to also work with is actually very good. I sometimes I feel like probably the kids we're having today, the genes they have is also a digital, you understand, gene, because they are so fast, at learning things and picking up, you understand, things. And if you don't catch up with them, before you know, you see them, on something, else and all. And just like Lalade has said, I've also seen that work with my own brother and his kids. What he does as well, when he does certain things, he tells them, this is a secret between us, you don't say this, you don't do that. And children, they're always thrilled, by such activities, and they're like, no, my dad says this. So it's very, very important. You may think, you don't ever think children don't understand. No, they do. As long as you can speak it in their language, just like Olalari has said, as long as you can break it down in their language, definitely they understand. They will know that, okay, this is dangerous, and for their own safety. So thank you so much for sharing, Grace, that experience. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to add to that, honestly, those cookies that you talked about, I'm tired of. Me too. Yeah, it's so tiring how many cookies you click. What I do now, my rule of thumb is to just go to sites that I trust alone. If I don't go to any news site anymore, anybody put any link for one blog or something, I don't even bother. Because trust me, I can, in my capacity, I can actually do a blog and I'll put some cookie there that if you accept, I'm going to be reading some information about you and using it for something. I can actually do that. So I don't know what those guys have done in their websites or their blogs and the cookies they have. So what I not actually used to do is I used to go and click reject. I actually used to reject cookies. I don't want cookies. But because it's too much, so what I do, I don't even go to any other news site. I just stay on the site I want. If I want gist or fofo for Nigeria, I go to Linda Ikeji or Nairaland. If I want, I know, so I just have some places I go to and I don't do it. I don't go to any other place. That's one rule of thumb for me. The other one that you mentioned about your kid, right? I don't know if you use like a family link or the Apple family. I'm not an Apple person, I'm more of an Android person. So there's a family link where you can view your kids. I'm sure you do, but in case you don't, it's also a very good way to manage the things. And yes, I actually also don't like, I don't, I, kids, digital time for kids is very scary. It has to be, or you have to reduce it or just take it away totally. But they have to use the tab for maybe educational purpose. So it's a balanced thing. But I mean, Australia, as of today, they've banned under 16 from social media, and countries are trying to adopt that too. That's to tell you how much being digital for kids is really, really, really not good. So you're doing the right thing. That's basically what I'm saying. So, but if you're not using the family link, just try and look into it. It will really help you to streamline everything. Yeah.
Oh yes, and just one more thing I just remember for also mentioning this Australia thing in as well. Also for young, adult like in that 16, I think there was also was it Finland also they banned, people young people coming to school with phones because it's very distracting. So as well, that needs to also be monitored. I know now even back home, like my niece that's 9, 10 years old, my dad, who is her granddad, already bought her a phone. Yeah, and most times she wants to cry that she wants to take it home. So we had to sit her down and explain to her, the dangers and all of this. So she only has access to that phone maybe in the evenings as she comes, so she talks to her grandpa, and that is all the weekend. So it's very important, all of these things, because things are trending, it doesn't make it the right way. So it's something that we need to really, put out there and have our children imbibe. Thank you.
Sorry, I know I've asked the question before, but can I ask another question, please?
Please go ahead. Until our host tells us otherwise, I think.
Okay. Um, so my question is about the whole picture thing. Yeah, so because like I don't know how to put this, but I'm more like, okay, so my business requires that I post my pictures sort of. I'm into the fashion line, so I model my dresses, and my pictures are always out there on my social media pages and all of that. And aside from business, I'm also very, very, should I say very, very, I'm kind of social media picture inclined, and I do post my pictures and that of my baby on my status as well. So when it comes to sharing too more, like when do I God help me. I don't know how to
I,
pass
I
When
get
it's
your
too much
question.
to share.
when
I get your
exactly
question. I get
when
your
it's
question.
too much. Like when do I know that it's becoming too much, and or what not to share, or even whether to share at all. As in, I don't know how, like, but this whole picture thing just threw me. It was one of the questions I wrote down earlier, but I don't know. I was distracted a bit. So please, people should help me. Oh, stop that! Stop that!
I know
Okay.
people always, can I say something,
Yes,
Ololade,
ma'am.
before you do? So I know people, especially with ladies who always want to be like maybe a content creator based on whatever it is that we're, you understand, doing. I remember watching on TikTok, there was this particular lady here in the United Kingdom. She was always, flaunting everything she does, her clothing, she goes shopping, she does this, and just like Lolade has said, the things that you put, all right, out there, they are kind of history. They are links linking you. Okay, you start from this journey to this journey. People are able to tell, you're rising and you're going out and you're coming in. They're able to monitor you. All right. So I think what she did was she put out there one. I think she was just joking with her child, right? You should just pick the child with a finger and then toss the child on the bed. When you're playing with your child, you pick it like wrestling kind of thing, and then you toss the child right on the bed. And someone, amongst the comments again, what are the comments you're also saying? And someone like, oh, she's been that was a domestic violence and stuff. And then before you know it, the next day, police had visited her house. And they came and they were checking, where does your son sleep, what is happening, what is going on. They that he got a report, and stuff like that. So you need to, what exactly, first of all, ask yourself, what are the objectives or the purpose of the content you want to create? All right. And I think for instance now, let me use it for example in QA as a tester. Most times when you want to do, maybe you're taking from you search for an item, and when you search for the item, you add it to your cart. But the error that you were actually saying you're getting from is when you click. You understand the what's it called? Is when you click your payments option is when you click the payment option. Now, for a developer, what they will want to see actually is not from that journey of the beginning, but they would want to just see that particular aspect, the message where it's coming from, so they can work with. So what am I trying to say? But that specific thing that you feel people should know about the message or the content you want, just streamline it basically to that. And I would say for your children or for your child, it's best you can, if it's possible. I know people also would want to use children, you understand, for content creating as well. But then you also need to minimize in putting your child out there, because children are also, they can be tools that people can come after. It's not just about yourself, but sometimes again about their own image as well. So I
Yes.
don't know if that answered a bit, Ujuma.
Thank
Um,
you very much.
I was trying to unmute. Yeah, yeah, that was really that was good. Thank you very much.
Let me just add something quick, Ujinwa, that knowledge is power, but knowledge is also a curse. Um, some people have knowledge that this is a problem, and because of that, they think about it. Some people don't have any knowledge that this is an issue, and they don't think about it, and nothing happens to them. And that's the reality. Trust me. Some people are posting everything online and they're fine. Some people, small thing like this, poof, before you know what, something has happened. I'm sure we're all aware of the security challenges that's happening right now in Nigeria. It's the kidnapping and all. It's information driven. Information driven, like this one, his father is rich, his sister get this job, is so and so, so and so. So it's a balance, just like success said. If you're doing business, then you just have to balance it up. That's just what I'll say. If you're not doing business, right, I'll say what's the purpose of the content creation. But if the content creation is actually for business money, then it's a balance. You have to do that, and then you have to balance it with probably removing every personal information about you anyway. Like, I know people that you don't know you don't know anything about them apart from the fact that they have this business, and that's all. So that's just the short thing I'll just say. It's just sometimes information is power, and but it's also a cost.
Wow,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guest speakers. Thank you. Really appreciate so. I drawing the curtains now. Thank you, sir. I hope we all learned one thing earlier. And even me myself, I learned something. But before we go, I think there's something we do at home as Mazon and I. Maybe you can introduce it. It might be helpful. Is because we have so many apps that have so many access. And what we do to our laptop is that we actually sellotape our cameras. So we have black page on our decks and we sellotape our cameras. If you have a smart TV that's connected to your remote, that you can speak into your remote, then you have to be keeping it somewhere that you are talking and it's not hearing you, because you just don't know. You just don't know. If you have smart TVs that have access to cameras, please just sellotape it, because it could be dressing and somebody out there is trying to access your camera, and then you don't know, because you, of course, you're not doing a video call now. You're not, mind is not there. So if you're not using your camera as much as possible, you can sellotape it. And when it's time for you to come on a Zoom call, work, office Teams, you just put it on back. You remove it and then put it back. So then another thing for access to YouTube, something my sister-in-law does is that a child cannot search for anything without us saying it. So she has some sites it can search, and the day it decides to search something else, the whole internet access is off. And then the guy comes and say, "Oh mom, I can't do it." She's like, "Oh, well, I found something very off in your search." And then we have to review the conversation, and then the permission is seized. So that's something we can do. Might need some learning on how to do it and all, but yeah, it's something we can do. And have you ever wondered, you could be chatting with somebody on WhatsApp and then you just mentioned, oh, I need a blender. And then you're going to Instagram, you're seeing so many adverts of blenders. So information again is power, right? Please, please, and please, um, educate yourself. Educate yourself. And with the little knowledge you've gotten, you please make use of it. Your children access those apps, their cartoons, they're having access to microphone, their cartoons, they're having access to camera, their cartoons, their games, are having access to contact, call. Like, why? Do you know they can use your voice and clone it for something else? Um, it's just so many, so many, and let's not just scare everybody. I'm sure we'll learn one thing or the other. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much, success. I myself have gained a lot. I have
Thank you
gained a
for
lot.
having
Just like what
us.
Thank you for having
yeah,
us.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm grateful. So thank you everyone for taking out your precious time. I'm so grateful. I'd have put on my camera, but right now I'm babysitting and I'm working, I'm pacing around. So there's no way I can sit
That's
down.
fine. It's okay. Thanks everyone for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. See you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
everyone.
Thank
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Lily.
you
Yeah.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you, Madam Grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, PP, for this nice, inspiring.
Thank,
I'm glad I
thank
didn't.
you.
My madam is really disturbing me. Thank God that I didn't miss it anyway. Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.